No, I couldn't agree with you more. Let me say, first of all, about Kennedy. That was the first time the military had been asked to get into the political arena. And yes, you know, bomb them into the Stone Age. We had that from, you know, our famous Air Force general, and it was incompetent. There's no question about that. Iraq is more complicated. Iraq, it was partially the Army, it was partially Casey, it was also Rumsfeld. Rumsfeld, he dictated the thing, and it was only, people think that the reason things have changed in Iraq is because of the surge. Okay, that's probably 25% of what happened. 75% of what happened was Petraeus, and I talked to him about it, when he went in and he changed the whole strategy. From frontal conflict, where you go out and fight and then go back to your little base at night, to you go out and live with the people. You sit out there, you're there with them. This 10-man unit is out with a 10-man Iraqi unit. And that, plus the fact that the Sunnis in Anbar became, you know, we don't like the Americans, but we sure as hell like them a lot better than we do Al-Qaeda. And so they decided to cooperate, provided, I mean, there's just been too many reports, provided you promise to leave. And I mean, my son-in-law has been in combat in Afghanistan, trying to do the same thing. And did the military be criticized? Yes. Was the F-32? That had been around, the Raptor, that's been F-22, I guess it is, that's been around with a free-for-all. Will the military rip you off if it can? Absolutely. And what I'm talking is, the military is going to be political, whether you like it or not, because you're going to ask them political questions. But do they follow what they're told? Yes, they do. And will they play games? Look, starting with Harry Truman, the military figured out, hey, there's media out there. Aha, we're going to use the media. And the Navy in particular, which is a big battle they had under Harry Truman with the Navy. And the Navy went out and used the media as much as they could to try and undermine Truman. That's politics. Conflict is part of the system. And absolutely, should the military be criticized? You betcha. And I'd be the first one to stand alongside you and do it. And the famous case in Grenada, the military screwed that up bad. I'll give you an example. Stormin Norman was a 2-star, sent to be there as the Army representative. He's on a carrier, and he gets the orders that they want to take special Army Rangers, and they have to be sent to point A. So Stormin Norman goes to the Marine colonel in charge of the helicopters and says, I need to put these guys over. The colonel says, well, sorry, Marine helicopters don't carry soldiers. And Stormin Norman said, look, let's get down to the basics. I'm a 2-star general, and you're a colonel. If you want to end up in Leavenworth, you go right ahead. But I damn well suggest you get those people on the plane and the helicopters went. Stupidity, yes. The whole thing about trying to get special operations to work together has been a long struggle. And when I was in Hawaii with Admiral Blair, and I was sent down to the special ops people, here, what do you have? You have the guy in charge, the Navy captain, his assistant's an Army lieutenant colonel, and you've got an Air Force lieutenant colonel. You've got all these people integrated like this together. That has taken a long time, and I would be the first one to say to you, criticize the military, and if they're not big enough boys to take it, then the hell with them, because they deserve it. But on the other hand, if you're in the place, work with them. That's all I'm saying. Is don't sit there and start off and say you're all a bunch of jackasses and stupid, and so I'm going to take charge. They're a pretty strong bureaucracy, and they can be your friend or they can be your foe. And sometimes you have to step on them and say, look, I don't care about your F-22 Raptor. You're not going to get any more. And that's exactly what Gates is doing right now. Gates has stomped on the military a couple times, but he stomped on it with working with them. There are a lot of generals who don't like the fact that we switched to counterinsurgency. But now, if you look at the last promotion panel, for example, what did he do? He put Petraeus in charge of it, and guess what? People like McMaster, who've been passed over twice, now are BGs. There are about 7 BG promotions, all out of the special operations and that whole world. And the regular Army would have never done that. But he chose a general to do it. So yes, you have to. I mean, it's conflict. Conflict is normal. But just try and work with them as against them. That's all I'm saying.
Well, thank you very much. Thank all of our distinguished panelists. I have 2 important announcements for you. For those of you who are able to RSVP to the luncheon, please proceed upstairs to the Bryce room. If you take the far bank of elevators, just go up 1 floor, 2nd floor, for those of you who RSVP. If there's a question about that, please see Mandy Bird in back there, and she has the list of names of people who have RSVP. Casey Pipes, a former Bush speechwriter, will be our luncheon speaker. The event will be televised by C-SPAN. The second announcement is we'll end at lunch at 1:45. We'll take a break, and at 2 o'clock we'll start our third and final panel for the day. And I hope to see you then at 2 o'clock back in this room. Thank you very much.